Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show this weekend. Hey, baby, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing good. Going to be talking to some ladies today about an FDA change that may affect some people listening. I guess we'll find out. Take a listen to this. What's the number of times the average lipstick gets touched before it's purchased? If you're going to guess. How many times?
Well, the actual lipstick itself or the tube?
I'm assuming.
I would say, 50.
No, 8 times.
Huh?
Not as many as you thought. There's such a worldwide shortage of trained butlers that a good butler can get $500,000 a year for buttling. Maybe I should become a butler.
$500 a year?
$500,000 a year.
We've talked about that before.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Researchers have discovered that monkeys who experience increased hormonal reactions to stress while infants are more likely to consume large amounts of alcohol as they reach adulthood. We're talking about monkeys here. They also found that male monkeys drank more than female monkeys, and those raised without adult contact drank more than those raised with their mothers.
Who's giving these monkeys alcohol?
He's getting monkeys liquored
It's not like
up.
they can go buy it.
They can go, hey, some more monkeys.
No, that's actually
You would do that.
a job I would like to
I see
be
Heidi getting monkeys liquored
involved
up.
in.
Got some special things going on this weekend. We'll tell you all about it in a bit.
John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
Thought you'd never ask. Let's do the whole darn weekend. Saturday, February the 4th, is Barber Day. It's also Facebook's birthday. It's Ice Cream for Breakfast Day. Take your child to the library day. It's Liberace Day. It's Medulla Date Day. It's Quacker Day, USO Day, and World Cancer Day. That's all Saturday. Now, let's turn the page to Sunday, February the 5th, Adlai Stevenson Day. Dump Your Significant Jerk Day. Move Hollywood and Broadway to Lebanon, PA Day. It's also Popcorn Day, Shower with a Friend Day. You'd have to be pretty darn good friends. Weatherman's Day or Weather Person's Day. Western Monarch Day and World Nutella Day. Oh, there's one other thing. On Sunday, February the 5th, it's Super Bowl Day. Super Bowl 51 this year, Heidi.
That's exciting.
And they have like all these Roman numerals, and I don't know why they started doing that, but that gets confusing. Just say 51. It's a lot easier. A couple of fun things right there happening this weekend. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
Hey, it's John from the John and Heidi Show. Join me and my wife Heidi at 80s in the Sand, a week-long 80s event this November 11th through the 18th in beautiful Punta Cana. That's in the Dominican Republic. You'll get to meet and listen to 80s bands like Loverboy, Starship, Howard Jones, and many more. Plus, meet 80s icons from the movies like Anthony Michael Hall, Andrew McCarthy, and several others. Get all of the details at 80sinthesand.com. Use promo code RADIO to get a $200 immediate refund per person. That's 80sinthesand.com, promo code RADIO. You know it's true because you heard it on the radio. How bad can a doctor's handwriting be, Heidi?
Oh, I've seen some terrible handwriting.
Yeah. Apparently, doctors have poor handwriting, and it's not just a stereotype. According to a survey by the Pilot Pen Company, 88% of Americans describe their doctor's handwriting as fair to poor. The survey also shows that professional athletes have hard-to-read autographs. 46% of Americans can't read their handwriting either. So does that mean they can't read their own handwriting? Is that what you think that means? 46% of Americans... Oh, I bet it means the professional sports people. It's because that's all kind of one sentence.
Well, I know when we met Ditka and we got his signature on stuff, all of us were trying to read what it said because it said something else besides his signature.
I think it said, leave me alone.
And we were trying to figure out what it said and nobody could read it.
Why doesn't everybody just go away? It's what his face said. I don't know what his signature
No,
said.
it did not.
Oh, he didn't seem to be having fun that night. So it says the survey also shows that professional athletes have hard-to-read autographs. 46% of Americans can't read their handwriting either. So I think that's a sentence that's all one thing. Anyway, on the other hand, 62% say teachers have excellent handwriting, and 18% said their clergy have nice penmanship too. Heidi, you have very nice penmanship.
I really don't. I hate my handwriting.
No, your handwriting's awesome. It could be a font. It could be the Heidi font.
I don't
My
think
handwriting is terrible. And here's the thing. Here, look at I'm going to just grab one random thing that I happen to have here. Look at the difference here. I have some uppercase, some lowercase, some cursive. It's all jammed together. It's like I don't know what's going on.
Well, there's something I just wrote.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I can read that. That's really good.
But you can read it, but it's not pretty.
It's good, but it's legible and it's beautiful and it could be a font. And I think we should make Heidi a font.
I don't think so.
Who else thinks that? Raise your hand.
I don't think so.
See all those people raising their hands? Well, you can't see them because
they can't
it's
see
radio,
the handwriting. Why would they be voting?
Well, if that's how radio worked, that's what people would be doing right now. Coming up, we've got your brain on drugs. This whole handwriting thing, you know it's true because you heard it on the radio.
John and Heidi.
The John and Heidi Show is brought to you in part by the Keystone Treatment Center.
This is your brain, and this is your brain on drugs. We share silly stories here on the program, but addiction is no joke. If you or someone you know suffers with an addiction to drugs or alcohol, make today the day you seek help.
Call toll-free 844-204-1055.
That's a toll-free number. Again,
844-204-1055.
And this is your brain on drugs. When calling someone to bail you out of jail for being arrested for a DUI, you might want to make sure that they're not drunk as a skunk too. Yeah. Shoreman, Vermont, 33-year-old Tanya Laporte got into an accident with another car. When police arrived, they discovered that she had drugs with her. They arrested her also for a DUI. Tanya later called her ex-husband, Michael, to bail her out. Wow. Unfortunately, on his way to the police station, he rolled his dump truck.
He went to pick her up from jail in a dump truck.
It is not known who bailed him out after he was also arrested for a DUI.
That's fantastic.
So he was rolling to get his ex-wife in a dump truck.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
While he was drunk. Mm-hmm. That dude still loves her. I'm just saying. That's the way that works. I don't know if you know. If you're going to get your ex-wife from jail in a dump truck
you're
when you're
still
drunk,
in love.
Oh, yeah. Head over heels.
Yeah.
Especially when he was rolling that dump truck. Coming up, we've got your moment of duh. That's on the way.
John and Heidi.
A 16-year-old Port Wentworth, Georgia boy was mowing his lawn when he saw a snake slithering toward the dogs. They were chained out in the front yard. Worried the pups might get wounded by the snake, he ran inside and grabbed a .22 pistol. Teenager was running in the house to grab the pistol. That might send red flags for some parents, but the kid's troubles were only beginning. When he came back outside, he found the snake at his feet, hastily aimed and fired. Snake lovers need not worry. He didn't hit the snake.
He hit himself.
Yeah, shot himself in the leg. Snake got away clean. So this kid, again, 16, mowing the lawn, snake slithering towards dogs.
Just run over the snake with the lawnmower.
That's exactly what I was going to say. How many 16-year-olds would have just ran him over with a lawnmower?
Yeah.
Because I'm just saying, that's probably what I would have done.
That's what I would have done.
Yeah, see? 2 out of 2 people right here said you already had the proper weapon for this job.
Right.
I mean, you had a lawnmower. I didn't mean to, but I've run over snakes before and turned them into snake bits. Even accidentally.
You
They
would
just
think by
popped up.
running inside looking for a weapon, he would have risked his pets getting hurt when he already had the lawnmower. He could have just taken care of it fast.
Or he could have taken the lawnmower over by the pups, and that would have scared the snake away.
Right.
Because, snakes don't like lawnmowers.
Right.
Anyway, coming up, we have your scoop of the day. By the way, that's why this is called your moment of duh.
The scoop of the day is brought to you by Wells Blue Bunny. If you want delicious ice cream, be sure to look for the Blue Bunny. Sure to have your favorite flavors. Learn more at bluebunny.com.
Now your scoop of the day. I've never been to China, but I don't know if I want to rush right over there after hearing this story. A really strange way of saying thank you in China. A guy was hospitalized, Heidi, when his friend beat the snot out of him because he wouldn't let him pay at the restaurant. Now,
We've got in disputes
Oh, yeah.
before over who,
I'll get it.
the
I'm
little
gonna
tug
get it.
of war with
No,
the
you got it last
check
time.
thing, but
I'm usually the first one to give up on that, by the way. Like, yeah, I'll get it. And they're like, no, I'll get it. I'm like, okay, you can get it. Yawning, by the way, is a surprising way to keep your brain in top form, believe it or not. When you inhale deeply, you exchange warm air with cooler ambient air, which is a good thing. Heidi's over there yawning right now, since the brain operates most efficiently when it's cooler. If you feel a yawn coming on, do not suppress it. Your thinker may need to let off some steam.
that must be why I have such awesome dreams, because it's so cold in our room, and so my brain is operating at its best at night.
I wonder how many other people just yawned right now. Just talking about that made me yawn. Hey, good news. Scientists report that They've been successful in making milk chocolate as healthy as dark chocolate. Now, when you can make it as healthy as broccoli, get back to me. I'm just saying. I had to post this on Facebook because I thought this was such a cool story. Elvis Presley sang about Heartbreak Hotel, right?
Yeah.
He probably didn't realize that someday he'd have his own little hotel right there at Graceland. A 450-room hotel opened just recently, and you can now stay right there. It's a resort near his iconic, stylish Graceland home. 20 Elvis-themed suites, including the King Suite, done up in red and black and gold, featuring a TV set on the ceiling, the way the King had it, right above his bed at Graceland. Now, Charlie, from Tuesdays with Charlie, wants to go and see Graceland someday. We need to stay there.
How on earth would he have gotten a television up above his bed way back then? Those TVs were enormous.
Yeah, but they just built it in. So
built it into the ceiling?
Yeah.
So then the floor up above, you have to jump over a hump?
that's probably like in the attic, I'm assuming. What's that? This is the back of a TV. I wonder if they're using flat screen TVs nowadays or how that works. I don't know. We've never been there. I have to go check it out. 1/3 of Americans say they've wandered in their sleep, reporting in a neuroscientist journal. Scientists are not sure exactly what causes sleepwalking, but stress, insomnia, alcohol, and antidepressants have all been linked to roaming while you're snoozing. Most sleepwalkers leave clues to their jaunts: displaced furniture, missing leftovers from the fridge, filthy feet from venturing outside. If you notice any of these things, talk to your doctor about your sleepwalking. Stanford University says one remedy that they recommend: attach a bell to your bedroom door that will stir you from your slumber. So if you think that you're a sleepwalker, basically set up an alarm to wake you up. So,
I had a neighbor girl when I was growing up that was a sleepwalker, and she, in the middle of the night, left her house and walked from her house across the rocks, across 2 driveways, over to our house, and in the front door. It was when I was a kid. Nobody locked their doors. It was a safe neighborhood. Wow. Walked in, came upstairs, got into bed with me. Mom saw her walk by, and she's like, "Charlie, somebody just walked into Heidi's room." And he's like, "Well, go see who it is." He did not
wake up at all?
So she went into the room to see what was going on. She was talking, but she woke up in the morning, was terrified, had no clue where she was at. Yeah.
Crazy. Well, before we're done, we're going to get back to some stories here. Researchers say the brain scans can help identify prison inmates who are likely to reoffend. That's kind of scary.
That is scary.
So now they're going to say, no, you're going to stay in because
you're going to reoffend.
Our scanner says that you might reoffend.
Yeah, I don't like that. I think technology is getting a little out of control.
A little bit. And according to a survey, 1 in 4 Europeans have fallen asleep in the workplace. Wonder how many Americans. Heidi, wake up. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show this weekend.
John and Heidi.
Radio advertising works. When it's done right, it works even better. There are many things you can do to get a better response, and shouting sale really isn't the best thing, believe it or not. Did you know that when you put words to music, they're 9 times more memorable? If you're trying to get people to remember your company, consider a jingle. We work with one of the very best jingle companies in the business, and we'd love to use music to help you grow your company. Learn more and hear examples at RadioReallyWorks.com. That's RadioReallyWorks.com. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show. There's a new FDA rule that's signaling an important change. I've got a chief veterinarian and a dairy farmer to chat with us about this today. Our guests on the program, Dr. Liz Wagstrom, chief veterinarian for the National Pork Producers Council, and Katie Roth. She is a Wisconsin dairy farmer. We've got both of them on the line. Thank you so much for joining us, ladies. How are you today?
Very well, thank you.
Thank you.
Well, thanks for being on the program. Let's start with Dr. Wagstrom. What exactly are the new guidelines, and why are they so important?
What's happened is FDA has realized that there's a lot of concern about antibiotic resistance. So they have taken steps to make the use of any antibiotics that are important to human medicine to be used in food animals only when medically necessary, and then only under the order of a veterinarian. So those very important antibiotics can no longer be used to just help animals grow faster.
Very nice. Now, Katie, since we've got you on the line, let's talk about how these requirements would affect me if I was a farmer.
Sure. Well, as a farmer, we already have a great working relationship with our veterinarian, and this is even before the veterinarian feed directive started. And so in working as a farmer with your veterinarian, they really are our trusted advisors, and they participate in our management decisions. And I truly do enjoy working with our veterinarian. So with the feed directive, nothing for us really is going to change, except for the fact now we will need a prescription if we do have some animals that we want to feed antibiotics to. And for us, really that it's not very common on our farm. Prevention is very important to us, and that's key to preventing disease and illness. But for us, it's not going to change that much because we still have a great working relationship with our veterinarian.
Very nice. Now, Dr. Wagstrom, with these new guidelines in place, what will be or what will reduce the amount of antibiotics in our food supply, and what will that mean for the public?
Well, if you look at the existing rules that have been in place for decades, there's a very strict regulation that says if antibiotics are given to an animal, they have to be stopped for a certain amount of time before any product from that animal could enter the food supply, so that they determine there's no unsafe residues in that product. So that continues. And then this added layer of protection is really focused at diminishing the potential for antibiotic resistance. And so that's the new piece that's really come into play here.
And Katie, how are these new rules expected to affect the animals then, do you know?
Well, for us on our farm, animal care is what we preach every day. We want to keep our animals healthy for a safe food supply. And really, on our farm, we have their best interests at our heart, and everything that we do for them is for their safety and health. And so the animals really stand to benefit from this because we want to keep them healthy, and that's important to us.
Well, very good. Thank you both for taking some time to visit with us. If I would like to get some more information, maybe somebody listening is saying, well, that really is something I need to know a little more about. Is there a place online that I can go and find that, Dr. Wagstrom?
Yes, there's two great websites. One is very focused on consumer, and it's the togetherabx.com. And it'll tell you a lot about how antibiotics are used in animals and the safeguards that are in place. If you want to have a consumer that wants to dig into the really dry regulatory language, FDA.gov will give you information about the new regulations.
Well, thank you again for your time. I appreciate that, and you folks have a great day.
Thank
you so much.
Again, our guests today have been Dr. Liz Wagstrom, Chief Veterinarian for the National Pork Producers Council, and Katie Roth. She is a Wisconsin dairy farmer. Thank you, ladies, again for joining us. And if you would like to know more, FDA.gov would be one place you could look, and another one is the website she told us, togetherabx.com. Thank you again for joining us on the John and Heidi Show.
Are you looking for senior care for your mom or dad, but don't know where to start? No one knows your loved ones better than you do, and no one knows senior living better than A Place for Mom. They've helped thousands of families find the right place for their loved ones. The Senior Living Advisors at A Place for Mom partner with thousands of families every month, listening and offering local knowledge and advice to help find the best senior living communities across the country. Call 1-800-471-5173. That's 1-800-471-5173.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Even though red roses look the same, there's over 900 different types of red roses.
Really?
Yeah, that's a lot of different types. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
To make 1 pound of whole milk cheese, 10 pounds of whole milk are needed.
Oh.
Sounds like a lot of milk to make a little bit of cheese.
It does.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Great white sharks have about 3,000 teeth.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
It takes a long time to brush their teeth. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Water expands 9% when it's frozen. I knew it expanded, but I didn't know the 9% part.
I didn't know it expanded. I thought it just got hard.
No, water? Yeah, of course it expands when it... We'll chat about that.
Well, then why is it the same size in the ice cube trays? If it expanded, it would get...
It pushes up.
Wider and taller.
No. It goes up. It absolutely does. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Males account for 60% of toy injuries that occur in the United States. No kidding.
Yeah.
Usually it starts out with,
I could have told you that.
Check this out. There you go. A couple of fun facts for you this weekend.
John and Heidi.
This is Richard Lustig, the world's first and only 7-time lottery game grand prize winner. Since I endorsed Lottolicious. I have won something every single draw. They do all the work. You don't have to worry about running to the store to buy your tickets. They take care of all that. So if you're looking for the best way to play the lottery, to give yourself the best chance of winning, go to RadioLottoPool.com and join today. Again, that website is RadioLottoPool.com.
John and Heidi.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show this weekend. This is such a fun story here. Guys, ladies, everybody listen up to this disgusting story we have here. This is from, who's this from? Career Builder. So even though he or she is your boss, that doesn't mean necessarily have to do everything they say. Some personal, bizarre requests. It says here, 21% of employees say their boss has asked them to do things that are not related to their job. You won't believe what some of these people have been asked to do. Career Builder and Harris Interactive surveyed 3,031 U.S. employees all across the country in a wide variety of industries to come up with this amazing list of things that you never would have guessed in a million years.
Okay.
The answers are astounding, including asking an employee to taste a dog treat.
What on earth?
Yeah, another boss said, hey, can you remove a dead raccoon from my truck?
What?
Yeah, another boss said, can you do me a favor and help my ex-wife move? Another one, take my grandmother to the doctor. Another boss said, could you feed the birds in my backyard? These are things that really happened. Somebody else asked their employee to help break up with his girlfriend for him. Another said, can you take my cell phone to get it serviced because I dropped it in the toilet? Another boss asked an employee to help organize her high school reunion.
Oh my goodness.
And it gets even better. A boss asked, can you help cut me out of my pants?
Oh my gosh.
What in the world is going on there? Cut me out of my pants. Was this like the day after Thanksgiving or something? I can't wiggle. Can you just cut me out of these pants? And then my favorite is this one. I saved it for the last. These are true things that happened. Actual employees were asked to do this. At least one was asked by the boss to help shave my back.
Oh, gross. Hopefully that boss was a male.
I hope so, too. It says shave his back, so it was. Oh, some weird things that happen in this country. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
Only 2 in 10 Americans say they're ready for the unthinkable. Are you ready for a natural disaster? What would happen if you were not able to go out to get food for your family during extreme weather? How long would you be okay without power and without access to get more food? Wise Company has the ultimate emergency preparedness pack with enough emergency food kits for a week, or upgrade to be prepared for a month or longer. Call toll-free 888-552-3759. It pays to be prepared. Learn more at radiosavings.com.
John and Heidi.
So just how reliable is your kid's textbook? A new study of dozens of the most used science textbooks that are in use in U.S. middle schools finds riddled with errors. None of them are acceptable. Like books that are used by about 85% of U.S. school population include so many errors it took 500 pages to list all of the errors in the study.
Oh, wow.
Obvious errors in these science textbooks include a map that showed the equator passing through the United States. Aim a little further south. Impossible diagrams of what a prism does to light. And a photo of a singer, Linda Ronstadt, labeled as silicon crystal. What? According to the president of the American Association of Physics Teachers, these are basic errors. It's stuff that anyone who had taken a science class would be able to catch. End quote. Then why didn't you catch it?
Exactly.
500 pages just to say all the boo-boos in the textbooks. Aren't the textbooks less than that? You'd think?
I don't know.
No. Don't believe everything you read, kids. Especially not in textbooks. Coming up, we're going to talk about Japan and what they're up to. It's on the way. I sure hope this kind of thing doesn't catch on here. Have you ever taken a sick day? Of course. But how about a love sick day? Yeah. A Japanese marketing company is letting employees take time off when they get dumped by a significant other.
Oh, well, you know what? I could see that.
Well, it's a 6-woman staff at Tokyo's Heimi and Company, and they're allowed a number of love sick days per year depending on their age. Women under the age of 24 can take 1 day off per year, while those between 25 and 29 get 2 days off, love sick days, and 30 and older can take 3 days off. So the older you get, the more you get dumped? Is that what they're trying to say? That just seems kind of weird.
Maybe because the older you are, like if you've been married 17 years and you're going through a divorce or something, you're going to have some pretty freaking tough days.
I don't know. Company CEO says that's because women in their 20s can find their next love quickly, but it takes longer and it's tougher for women in their 30s, and their breakups tend to be more serious. The company also gives these ladies 2 mornings off twice a year to go shopping. So
that
they
is
can
fantastic.
Race to stores for bargain hunts, so they give them off like special days like we have Black Friday and whatnot. So that's a Japanese marketing company. I think we should start making up ridiculous rules around here just to get national
I'm okay
exposure.
with that.
This radio station in the United States, they give people a day off if they sneeze too much. We'll come up with something. Coming up, we've got some good news, and we've got some stuff between now and then as well.
John and Heidi.
Do you shop online? Do you like to save money? Save money with Honey. Let me explain. Honey is a really smart tool that's free to use. I'm not really an online shopper. I get as many things locally as possible, but there are some things you can only buy online. So when I heard about Honey, I thought, what the heck? It's free. I'll give it a shot. The very first time I used it was for a domain name. It's usually $12.99. Honey searched the internet and found me a discount code, so I bought it from the same exact website for just 99 cents. So I saved $12. It's absolutely free, so what do you have to lose? Check it out at SaveMoneyWithHoney.com.
John and Heidi.
Here's something that's sure to make even an optimist feel rosier and happier and all that. Good news. Happy people live longer. This is good stuff. There's a conclusion of a review of encompassing more than 30 studies about attitude and how it can affect health. In general, the study says, lead author, by the way, is Ruut Venhoven, a professor at Holland's Erasmus University, happiness affects longevity to the same degree that not smoking might, adding 7.5 to 10 years to a person's lifespan. It goes on to say, happiness does not heal, but it does protect against falling ill. They conclude, happy people, defined as those who appreciate their life as a whole, were more likely to watch their weight, to not smoke, to not drink as much, and to be more active and self-confident and social than their unhappy counterparts, end quote. What are you laughing about it there?
Some of the happiest people that I know are very overweight, actually.
Yeah. Why are you pointing at me?
I'm not. You're not happy all the time. I live with you.
Okay, but would you say overall, am I a pretty happy person or am I not a very happy person?
No, I would say you are not a very happy person most of the time.
One of the number one things I would use to describe myself as happy. You don't think so?
No.
Okay. Well, I think we're going to have to agree to disagree on this one. But
I've heard you on the phone. I've heard you in the car. I've heard you talking to the children. I've heard you.
We're married. That doesn't count. Of course you think I'm an idiot.
I don't think you're an idiot. I just don't think that you're like the eternal optimist that you think you are.
I think we're pretty darn happy. But it says happy people as a whole don't drink and smoke either. But I know some pretty darn happy people. Usually when they start drinking, they get even happier.
That would be me.
So do you think you're happier than I am?
I think I'm happier when I'm drinking.
Okay, but overall, do you think you're happier than I am?
I think we're probably about the same.
I don't think so. I think I'm way happier than you.
Whatever.
I'm happier because I'm married to you. You're not happy because you're married to me.
That is not true. Oh my gosh.
It's my conclusion. I'm going to have to put out a report. We have some good news on the way. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show this weekend.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always try to wrap things up around here with some good news. And, we had a story a little bit ago that could have been good news. The whole happy people live longer. And then I found out that I'm not a happy person, so... All this time, I thought I was happy. Heidi says, no, you're a miserable SOB.
Did not
Paraphrasing. But this is some good news. Underwater explorers in Madagascar say they've discovered treasure belonging to the notorious 17th century Scottish pirate William Kidd. According to BBC News report, the silver bar was brought to shore last week from what was thought to be the wreck of the Adventure galley. The bar was presented to Madagascar's president at a special ceremony. U.S. explorer Barry Clifford says he believes there are many more such bars still in the wreck. Captain Kidd was first appointed by the British authorities to tackle piracy, but later became a ruthless pirate and criminal himself and was executed on May 23rd, 1701. Yeah. You didn't know about William Kidd?
No.
Yeah. So he was a pirate, William Kidd. Before,
I've heard of Billy the Kid.
Yeah, I would say that was before Billy the Kid. That's a whole different thing. But William Kidd, he was a pirate back in the day, in the late 1600s and early 1700s. So now they found a gold bar. I wonder how. I've got a link to this on our Facebook page. I put it there, and I honestly didn't even read the story. Just this little part of it here. But there's a link. I'll have to go see how they know for sure that it was his silver bar. Because, there's a lot of silver bars. How do they know for sure this was his? Did he scratch his name into it or something?
I don't know.
Interesting stuff. But it's good news. And they think there's a lot more down there. So this Barry Clifford, this U.S. explorer, he's about to make bank from the sounds of it. How do you get into the business of being a treasure hunter? I think I should do that.
Treasure hunter, you just start looking for treasure.
Do I need like a special permit or something?
No, but you might need some equipment.
All right. Well, I'm gonna see if I can scratch up some equipment. I'll go treasure hunting. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. If you want to read that story, it's at facebook.com/John and Heidi Show. Have a great weekend.